Okay, class. Today we'll learn how to use Simulink block diagram to model a spring mass dynamic system. So, and in the dynamic system, you'll see here we have spring stiffness, a damper, connect to a mass, and then we will initially it's located at the balance position, and then we'll do an input with a force 2 Newton. And then we'll look at the output, how is displacement x change with time. Okay. The mathematical model and for this equation will be m x second derivative x dot dot plus b times first derivative, and then plus k times x equals ut. Ut is an input force. Okay, so to model it in Simulink, so we'll go to the MATLAB and we can launch Simulink by input Simulink in command window. And here we'll see that there's a Simulink launched. We'll create a blank model. Once we have the blank model, we'll start to build up and the block diagrams. And we'll use the library browser, and we can use commonly used blocks, so which contains most commonly used blocks. And for this problem, and we'll see that for such a kind of problem, well, the general principle is we'll place the highest order of derivatives, in this case the second order, is m times second order x dot dot on one side, and on the other side we will have 3 terms, so we will use this as a backbone of the block diagram. So, and what we'll do is we'll use a sum block diagram, and one side u and minus kx and minus bx dot will be the input, and the output will be second derivative m times dot dot. So we'll apply this general principle to build up the backbone of the block diagram. And then we'll go back to Simulink. And here we will first input the input force, U. And in this case, the input is a 2 Newton. So this will be our input. Okay, and then we will put the backbone sum up there. We'll create this sum up, which will be the input of minus kb minus bx dot and also u. Okay, so notice that we have one minus input separated by the vertical line, and then one plus input, and then plus another minus input. So if I do in this way, I can change the symbols with one input in the middle and the other 2 inputs on the top and the bottom, which will, once we get x and dx or x dot, and we'll put the signal into it too. So after the sum, what we'll get is m times second derivative. Okay, so once we get m times second derivative, as shown here, and then we'll have m times second derivative represented by d dx. So, well, with m times d dx, so what I will do is I will put a gainer there. I will put a gain block. So in the gain block, what I do is, because what I get is m times second derivative, what I will do is I will gain is the will use a factor to multiply on the signal. So I will do 1 over m. In that case, after go through this, and what's the signal after the gain? What we have is the a clean second derivative. So once we have second derivative, we'll put integrator. So connect to the integrator, the second derivative through the integrator will become first derivative. So once we get the first derivative, and then we put one more integrator. When the signal goes through the second integrator, it will become x. So the output will be x. And then in this way, we'll get our output. And then we will use a scope to show the output. Oops. We'll click this. I'll Control Z. I'll move here to connect to it, and then the scope will show the output x. So remember that after the first integrator, we get first derivative. After second, we get x. So which is the output for the problem. Now we come back to the sum, and remember that we have k. We have k times x as an input too. So what we'll do is we will use another gain. We can use Control R to change direction, and I will connect x signal. So x come out from the second integrator, which is x, and in this gain, we'll time a factor, which is k, stiffness, and we'll get kx, and the kx will connect to the sum, which is a minus here. I show minus here. It's the minus kx will go into the sum. Similarly, we can input minus bx dot into it. So again, I will use a gain block. Use a Control R to rotate it. Inside, we'll put a b. Click OK, and this will come from here. Click on B, and then we'll go to the input. So now we have this block diagram for spring mass damper system. But notice that there are 3 warnings, and that because the B, M, and K are not defined. So in order to run this code, so you have to define. So I will define M and K and B. To make simple, I will let them equals 1, and we'll run. Now all these variables has been defined. So now we can run this code by click running. So it's finished, and then you can click the scope. You'll see the result. So you'll see that x will change with time. The x will initially at 0, and then with a small oscillation, with a small overshooting, and then stabilized at 2. All right. So, and there's one more thing I want to share with you is that. So remember that for spring mass to solve differential equation, usually we need initial conditions. So for this case is when t equals 0, what x, and what is dx or x dot? Well, for this problem, we haven't defined initial condition. Why you can get the values? Well, the reason is if you click on the 2 integrators, the 2 integrators has a default initial value, which is 0 for the first integrator, means x dot equals 0. And we have second derivative, x equals 0 when t equals 0. So you can change this initial condition. So for example, if I change the initial condition as 1, that means the initial displacement is 1, and then you can run this code or get a different result. The result is, well, x will start from 1. Okay, that's all we have for today.